homeless. Maybe it's a money management issue. Maybe it's a drug abuse issue. Maybe it's a mental health issue, right? We can break down those barriers and then really help them get to the next step in life, right? That's kind of what we're specialized in. Our case management ratio is an 8-to-1 case management ratio, which at the VA right now is 227 to 1, so 227 veterans to 1 individual case manager. That's why our program is so good, is because, again, the case manager, right? Being able to break down those barriers that a lot of times the vets don't have time to break down in a normal scenario, right? I'm not hating on the VA. I go to the VA myself, right? I get it. With the funding that they have to pick and choose the vets they help. At the end of the day, my thing is dude, my buddy took the oath to serve us. My thing is did I have his back? He would have had my back when the worst of worst was happening in Afghanistan and would have drugged me to safety. But why is it that this dude is literally struggling on the street corner now, that I'm in my fancy little car or whatever, that I'm not dragging his ass to safety, right? I look at it now, it's my job, it's our job as the community to drag their butt to safety, to say, dude, I got your back. No matter what's going on, I have your back no matter what, right? So
you should go to YouTube. Oh, that's right, we're going to take you on YouTube.
Oh.
Can I go in for 2 more questions?
It's up to them. I'm not trying to steal a show.
Go ahead.
What's the typical transition period, or do you have enough experience to know? And secondly, what does it cost to get one of the small houses ready for them to move into?
Man, all right.
Tough question.
Yeah, well, it's easy just trying to break that down in my head.
I know you're good.
So don't let me forget.
I've been on your tour before. You know.
All right, the first question was transition time, depending on the individual veteran. Like a lot of government-funded agency, it's a one-size-fits-all 8-month, 10-month, 12-month program. We don't do that because the length of time is determined by the individual veteran. The individual veteran, the case manager, and clinical director say, hey, you know what? Sorry, my mouth's getting dry. They say, you know what, hey, it's going to take me 7 months to progress. As long as they're showing progression, they're allowed to stay in our program. Our end goal is, again, to help them with the transition. As statistics, I'm kind of a numbers guy, you're seeing these guys go into these government-funded programs. They get into, let's just say that it's a 12-month program. A lot of times they'll get to the 11th month and start regressing. Why? Because the whole time in the program, they haven't provided these guys or helped these guys with the transition. Hey, let's help you go look for groceries like we do in our program. Hey, let's go see, we need to build a budget for this. Hey, this is how you manage or coping with mental health skills, right? So to answer your question, it depends on the individual veteran. We never had a veteran stay longer than a year. The veteran that's stayed the longest has been just hit a year now. It's because her house is actually getting built by Habitat, and she has a family. So that's something I didn't cover as well. We don't also house individual veterans, we also house families as well, right? And so to answer your overall question, it depends on the individual veteran. We haven't had anybody stay for longer than a year. That's kind of a weird mentality when you're a vet, dude. I have battles with buddies on the street. I want to get out of this program, transition as fast as I can, right? That's kind of the mentality there. These guys don't want to just stay there and linger. That's not their goal, right? Everybody automatically assumes they're just these lowlifes and they want to sit there and linger. It is what it is. That's not the case at all. We're not picking those guys. We're picking those guys that are like, man, I messed up in life. I'm ready to get help. I'm ready to transition out of this, right? So,
the cost?
The cost per house?
Cost to put them in the house?
Yeah, how much does it cost to get a house ready?
Get it ready. Not build it, but.
Well, to build it, yeah. I mean, build it, furnish it,
sorry.
move in ready.
Good question.
Woo! All right. The actual hard cost in the house without the infrastructure is right around $35,000. As the gentleman that came in here before, I was like, dude, that's really high. Well, keep in mind we are building the 2015 codes. I don't know if you guys are builders in here. A lot of us build the 2012 codes. Only California builds the 2015 codes. So yeah, we do have to have a 36-year heating and cooling unit. Yeah, we have to have continuous R-value insulation. Yeah, like all these other factors that cost our house a lot of money, but in the long term, the sustainability of these houses are amazing. The hardy board that we use, I mean, we're talking about long term. And also, last year, Time Magazine and UMKC did a study together on us. That's the only time in history we've been able to bring a homeless population to an actual housing area and raise the property value. So that's the type of not pull, what's the right word? Attraction that we have, and that's actually been the big thing about going to these different cities. A lot of these cities, like Colorado, has a housing issue, housing thing, right? As to where now the restrictions is for every multi-million-dollar house you build here, you have to build affordable housing here. Well, a lot of these Site developers are partnering with us now and giving us our little piece of land to help these veterans. We're taking care of the Affordable Housing Act, and in turn, these developers get their processes and everything else sped up because, again, working with us, the city and everything else like that, and building affordable housing. So it's kind of been a cool backdoor way around it, but it's really changing what affordable house looks like in kind of that whole.
Do you have a Facebook page so we can follow you, and I'll leave you alone?
Yes, veteranscommunityproject.org. We'll leave out some cards and some other stuff. Again, any single one of you guys that want to come to the nonprofit, it's your nonprofit just as much as mine. I'd love to tell you guys more about it. We'd love to take you guys through a tour on there, answer any questions you may have. We're at 89th and Troost in Kansas City, veteranscommunityproject.org. Can I answer your question? You've been like holding your hand up like, dude, pick me.
How, okay, so for just a dumb construction guy like me, how can I get involved and help you?
So,
Short of doing things like this.
yep.
But, I mean, I'm ready to go hands-on. What do you need?
So, of course, I am sort of a fundraiser, right? We absolutely need money. That's the hard part of being privately funded. But I also just need you guys to get involved, right? That means coming down and swinging the hammer when you get a chance. We build these with volunteer labor. So again, on our community website, the volunteer tab, click that, and we'll reach out to you. Same thing with get your kids involved, get your family involved. We're big about that because your family's also going to make the difference, right? So to answer your questions, anywhere from swinging the hammer to helping us do fundraisers, to coming out and volunteering and telling our story, to sharing it on a Facebook page. Those are different ways that you can get involved and you can make a difference and impact, right? My thing is I want to get you down there because when you get down there, you get to show the vet, hey, I do care about you, I do have your back. And then those vets end up coming outside and start talking with you. Dude, thanks for being here. This is my story. And then you're like, dude, you have to hear this dude's story. That's where the difference in impact is made. It's because you guys have the difference in impact.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of heroes here tonight. We've got McCown Board. So
Yep.
Katie representing McCown Board. So they came up as a sponsor and paid good money to sponsor this event tonight.
Thank you.
We have W. Carter Glass. Anybody heard of W. Carter Glass? So they were so cool. They just said, we want to sponsor. And then Century Building Solutions. Anybody from Century? So they're a company that supplies a number of lumber and doors and windows out of Lawrence. And you guys have been a big supporter since the day you guys heard about it. You said, we want to do this. So thank you for that.
Thank you guys.
And I heard on my tour, we went on a tour with this guy. Kissick did a bunch of, they donated some site utility work.
Yep.
The sanitary sewer line was put in at no cost to you or something like that?
So we have SiteRite, Kissick, Blue Nile,
The city was big on
Right
that.
Way. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of city partners.
So there's a lot of people that jumped in to help you guys. Those are all heroes in this effort. I'm so proud of what you guys do. I'm a veteran also, and I'm lucky. I was old GI Bill. I found my way, but I'm so happy to see what you guys are doing, and so proud of what you're doing.